let's quickly talk about the significance of boundaries and what does that look like practically.
Okay.
So let's go back to your situation with your friend. How did you start that conversation with your friend to set those boundaries, and what did that look like?
Cool. I was going to do it in person, but our schedules didn't align. So I'm like, I got to do this now. It doesn't matter if it's in person, over the phone, or through text. And I said, we got ducks talking apparently. So I reached out saying, hey, do you have a second to talk? There's something that's been on my heart and mind recently ever since I heard it. And they like,
okay, stop right there for 1 second.
Okay.
So let's talk about you. So the first step that you did was you created a space.
Yeah.
For both parties to sit down and talk about these boundaries.
Yep.
So that's step one. Step one would be create a space to where both parties can sit down, or whoever's involved can sit down and talk about, okay, this is how we're going to set boundaries for this relationship, this business partnership, this whatever it's going to be, dating relationship, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's step one. So now keep going.
So the second step was me telling them like, hey, I want to talk to you about setting boundaries in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And I sent like maybe like a paragraph or more, like 3 paragraphs on how I'm feeling, how I want to go about this. And they responded saying, I don't see you as a certain way. I'm like, well, yeah, I already knew that because the way you've been acting lately. I didn't say it just like that, but I said, yeah, I kind of figured that. That's why I've been really praying about how this conversation will go. Yeah. Let's just say the conversation ended and I found peace with it. Like, we haven't communicated all today, which I deleted the number. I deleted everything. I don't want to feel the need to reach back out, let them back into my life again, just so they can leave again.
Okay. Stop right there. So step 2 was, once you created the space, both of you guys communicated how you felt without interruption.
Yeah.
I think that's so important because both people or whoever's involved need to be able to talk without being interrupted.
Yep.
There's a sense of creating that space where both parties or multiple or whoever's involved can sit down and communicate how they feel and get everything off of their chest without being interrupted.
Yeah.
I think that's very powerful. So that's step 2. In my opinion, would be number 1, let's create the space. Number 2, now let's fill that space with how we feel.
Yep.
Let's get everything off of our chest. And then number 3, let's come up with a solution after that. So once we talk that stuff out for however long that stage 2 lasts, stage 3 would be, let's come up with a solution, right? So the solution for you in that situation was, hey, because she communicated how she felt, you communicated how you felt. Now, hey, so since we don't see, and this was, I'm guessing it was going to be romantic at one point. So because it's not going that way and I don't see you in my life and you don't see me in your life, it would be best for us to go separate ways.
Yeah.
And it would be best for us to not entertain each other at all. Because like you said, the more I leave that door open, the more that foot gets there and the door's open, the more opportunities happen if I just don't take my foot away and close the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And remove myself from that situation. Now, if I leave that open or whoever leaves that open, now it's going to cause more confusion. It's going to cause more chaos. And that's another part of setting boundaries is when you set that boundary, make it a hard, fast boundary.
Yeah.
Don't move on it. Don't waver on it. Stand on the conviction of what you think you should do and stay there.
Yeah.
So now, like you said, now you did that. So you closed the door, you removed her number, you blocked her, whatever you did. And then when you close that door, you're not going back to that door.
Nope.
I want to stay there for 1 second because I think a lot of us do that. And I'm guilty of it.
I've been guilty of that.
Bro, like we set a boundary, we close the door, we say no. And then all of a sudden the door looks enticing.
Yeah.
The door looks appealing again. So we want to go back and open it, not realizing the consequences when we open that door. And I think for those of you out there that's struggling with that, and you struggle with, man, I set that boundary, but man, I'm going back to it. Man, I'm running back to this sin. I'm running back to those shackles again.
Yep.
Remind yourself why you closed the door in the first place. Remind yourself of the heartache you went through while that door was open. So when you remind yourself of the heartache and the pain and the trauma and how the Lord has graced you to set those boundaries and how you set them, and now you're hard fast on those boundaries, man, don't move from those boundaries.
Yeah.
You've already set them. So now that you've already set them, don't move, don't waver, don't change, because there's a reason why you had to set that boundary in the first place.
Yep.
So now that I set that, cool, great. I'm not going to move. I'm going to be hard fast. I'm going to stand on my conviction. I'm not moving. I'm not changing. I'm not going to go back and open that door, because if I do, it might be 7 times worse if I open that door again. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. That's that 3-step process, I think, will help a lot of people.
Dude, I hope so.
Understand how to unpack and how to deal with setting boundaries,
Yeah.
why it's important, the significance, how to do it,